Chelsea have lost their first Champions League match against Bayern Munich. And now the disgrace alone, the anger alone, Chelsea want to unleash that kind of anger on a certain club. Now, Manchester United happens to be the club next in line. So they should be very careful because Chelsea is going to the Old Trafford. And now, I'm going to send a strong warning to Manchester United fans because we are angry. You couldn't qualify for the Champions League, neither Europa League or even Conference League. Chelsea did. However, Chelsea couldn't beat Bayern Munich. And you tend Chelsea to be a laughingstock, forgetting the fact that you are the next in line to be playing the EPL with Chelsea. And Chelsea is coming with everything. Yes, Garnacho is coming back home to show you what he couldn't do just because you didn't like the guy's matter. Now, Manchester United have played 4 matches, like what Chelsea, and Manchester United have won just 1. Now, they are 14th on the Premier League table, Manchester United, with all your guy, with all your 14th on the league table. They've won just 1 match, and that is against Burnley. That particular win save, it was some small movement. Now, they lost to Arsenal, they draw to Fulham, lost on penalty to Grimsby Town. Well, look at this. Won against Burnley, like I said, and lost to Manchester City 3-0. Now, comparing to Chelsea, Chelsea have won 2 matches, draw 2 matches, no loss or no lose. And I don't see why Manchester United think that they have something to offer, because United doesn't have a team. I don't see Manchester United team, because one of the prayers that we have been praying as against supporters union is that Ruben Amorim should be retained and maintained each and every day. He shouldn't be sacked, so that he should continue to do the work that he is doing. Now, Chelsea won 2 of their last 4 matches. That's the EPL. Won against West Ham, Fulham, and draw against Brentford and Crystal Palace. Now, this is the time for Chelsea to show that they can do what Fulham did. They can do what West Ham did. Manchester City did. And they can also do what Grimsby did. Grimsby Town. And if Chelsea is unable to win against Manchester United, I'm going to cease creating content about football. Yes. Because Manchester United does not have a team. Manchester United's team is scattered. You can imagine that Sancho left Manchester United. Garnacho left Manchester United. Rashford left Manchester United. Greenwood, even his case is even different. And Anthony also left Manchester United. Now, these players are not the main problem. The main problem is Manchester United. Because Garnacho is coming back home to the Old Trafford to score and to celebrate. That is one of the things I am asking Alejandro Garnacho to do. He should not do anything aside scoring a goal for me. Yes, that is all I want. If he has to prove to Manchester United team, the whole club, that he is not the problem. He is actually not the problem, because Marcus Rashford scored brace for Barcelona against Newcastle United in the Champions League. And that second goal was a spectacular goal. What a nice goal. That's a very typical goal of Marcus Rashford. And you see, he was very happy in a very long time. Marcus Rashford was seen laughing, happy and all that, because he has been through a lot. So yes, but one of the things that Chelsea we have to know and address is that Enzo Maresca sometimes is the reason why we either lose or we play draw. Why am I saying this? I'm saying this because looking at the Champions League match against Bayern Munich, though Caicedo commits a penalty, Chalobah scored an own goal and even a mistake that led to the 3rd goal. I believe so strongly that if Enzo Maresca that came up with a very poor formation One of my friends was saying that was the formation he used against PSG. It's past and gone. We don't repeat things. Now, Reece James is not a midfielder. If he has been a midfielder before, that's then. But as we speak, Reece James is not a midfielder. He is not qualified to play in the midfield. It is a thorn in our flesh to ask Reece James to come and be in the midfield. It doesn't work at all. And Enzo Maresca must see to it that we have Reece James and Malo Gusto as two. The right backs. Don't go and do some magic. I don't know what he wanted to do to prove a point. Meanwhile, Bayern Munich is not it's not a small thing to joke around with. Now, Cucurella 3, Chalobah, Tosin, what have you? I don't have a problem with him. I only have a problem with the midfield. Now, the selection that this man or Chelsea's manager ought to do is to ensure that Garnacho starts the match against Manchester United. Alejandro Garnacho has been in the league for some time now. Jimmy Gittins must not start. Garnacho must start. So either Estaval on the right wing, Garnacho on the left wing. This particular match, Pedro should be reserved or to rest and even come up in the second half. Kopama as 10. Joao Pedro should be in the 9 or in the first 9. Yes. Enzo Fernandez and Moises Caicedo are the pivot players. And we are good to go. But if you joke, you bring Gittins, we will lose. If you bring Reece James in the midfield, we will lose. And if you lose against Manchester United, I don't think we should even be called as the World Club champions anymore. If Chelsea should lose against Manchester United, Chelsea shouldn't be accorded that name, World Club champions, because if Fulham was able to defeat Manchester United, Grimsby Town defeat Manchester United, Manchester City defeat Manchester United, why can't Chelsea also beat Manchester United? I just want to understand that fact. Garnacho is also likely to start the match. And like I said, one thing I am demanding from Alejandro Garnacho is to deliver, score a goal, and celebrate. After that, apologize. Yes, after that, apologize. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to predict if Chelsea's coach, Enzo Maresca, gives us the best formation, everybody is in their right position, Chelsea is going to defeat Manchester United by 4-1. Chelsea will beat Manchester United by 4-1. All things being equal. So ladies and gentlemen, let me also know what you think about the formation, who should start and what not. The final score, let me know your prediction. Because for me, Chelsea is going to beat Manchester United by 4-1. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know in the comment section. And we'll be back your way with the aftermath. But Chelsea will be the people to be rejoicing after the match on Saturday. Ladies and gentlemen, I am signing out. My name is Wizzy. Subscribe to this channel for more updates. Bye-bye.